Hi, this here is Viper01. Welcome to video number 2 in my introduction to trucking. I'm covering all the paperwork first because there's a lot of people out there that just like to see the driving and they don't really understand what goes into being a trucker. It's about, I'd say maybe 60% paperwork, 40% driving. Anyway, I'm going to introduce you to the driver's daily log. A lot of these will be paired up. I just showed you the inspection report in the previous video. A lot of these will be paired up. They'll be on one page, and they'll be, you know, kind of like this. You'll have both sides like this, all on one page. I don't like those myself because, as I mentioned, in the inspection report, if you change your trailer or something, you need to do a new inspection report, which means you need to do a new daily log because it's all on one page. So that's kind of defeats the purpose. Anyway, moving along. Once again, we got our carbon paper. You put that between the yellow copy and the white copy. And we'll start off here. Sorry if it blurs a little bit. I am really close to the camera. Now for your driver's daily log, you're going to want to have a tool, and that is a ruler. I, of course, am not using a ruler. This is just a saw blade. I grabbed it because it was convenient. But you'll need this for doing your charting. Up here we have our starting odometer. It's a good thing to grab this the same time you're grabbing it for your inspection report, because you want the odometer numbers to be the same, because your inspection should have happened usually around the same time you're starting the day. You should do your daily inspection the same time you're starting your day. Okay? That's your 24-hour inspection. Your ending odometer, you don't do this until the day's over. And the total distance driven, which is simply your ending minus your starting, gets you your total distance. Your license plate numbers, you want to put in all your plate numbers. Your truck number slash trailer number slash trailer number if you got extra trailers, or if you're running a train. Your date, and you'll notice the format specified here, day, month, year. Once again, you want to use that format, day, month, year, because that is the standard. You can check your cycles, 70 hour or 120 hour. I'll get into cycles in video number 3, which is going to deal with all your legal stuff here. I'm not going to get into timing because there isn't enough time in 10 minutes to go through all this plus your timing. So next video will be on the will be on your times and the cycles and all that. Your home terminal. Your home terminal is basically where you are based out of. Your principal place of business. This is where your boss is based out of. They can be different. Your driver's name, which is you, of course. You print driver's signature. You sign there. Do not sign the driver's signature until you are done your day and have double checked everything. Make sure it's all valid. Once you sign this, it's legally binding, as you can see right here in the little statement. So once you sign this, it's legally binding. If halfway through the day you screw up, so you go up here and start over, and you go, oh crap, that was, you know, should have been on the 12 instead of the 11 or whatnot. If you've already signed it, you've signed that is correct. So you don't want to sign until you're done for the day. Over here, there's an option to set a different start time. I do know people that use this. I try my best not to because it gets confusing. So say if you put down 8 a.m. as your start time, that means 0 would be 8 a.m., 1 would be 9 a.m., 2 would be 10 a.m., and so forth. I like to try and keep 0 as midnight, 12 as noon, 24 as midnight. I try my best to keep it that way. On this chart, there's 4 categories. Off-duty time other than in a sleeping berth, off-duty time in a sleeping berth, driving time, and on-duty time other than driving time. And that would be, for example, a pre-trip inspection, post-trip inspection, loading and unloading your trailers and whatnot. That would be on-duty time other than driving, because you are still on duty, you're still doing work, you're just not driving. And the way we do this is we just draw a line across the middle of each line, and you'll notice the lines are broken up into 15-minute sections with a master line every hour. So that allows you to change your status every 15 minutes. Okay? What you do here is, to stay legal, you need to draw a line from the start of the day to whatever you're doing. Normally you'll be off at the start of the day, Sometimes you'll go right through the night, and then you'll have to start here, say on driving time. But whatever status you're on, say you're off, you'll draw a line from when you're off. Okay, so midnight, say we start driving at 6 a.m., we'll draw a line from 0 over to 6. Then we'll draw a line from 6 down to driving. Okay, so we'll go down to driving, which would be here, approximately. You have to draw that line. That's your change of status. Every change of status has to be up to date. So if I started driving at 6 a.m., say it's 10 a.m. now, I must have that line from off duty over to 6, and I must have the line from off duty to on duty at 6, or I should say off duty to driving at 6. If I were to pull into, say, a Flying J at 10, I would have to draw my line on driving from 6 to 10, and then I would have to draw my line up to off duty. Say I'm going for lunch, so up to off duty, and I would leave it there. You always have to keep up to date to your last change of status. If I just had 6 a.m. down to driving, okay, and I drove to 10, took a half an hour off, then I was back to driving to say 5 o'clock at night. If I just had my line down to here at 6 a.m., I would not be legal. According to my logbook, I would have been driving from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. I did not put in my change of status at the Flying J. I did not put in my change of status from the Flying J back to driving, so therefore my logbook would be invalid and illegal. Okay, so if I'm pulled over, cop sees that, even though I haven't finished my day, even though I haven't signed it, the cop sees that, my logbook's illegal, I'm charged. Down here is a section for filling in notes. So say I start driving at 6 a.m. or do my pre-trip at 6 a.m. I would draw my line from 6 a.m. down to my on-duty other than driving, okay? And then I would just continue the line down here at 6, just go down a tiny bit. I usually like to make a little bit of an angle, okay? And then you'd write on that line pre-trip, say Flying J, Wisconsin, wherever you are. And then when you change your status up to driving, you don't necessarily have to do anything there. You don't have to make a remark. You know you're at the Flying J and whatever, and now you've gone back to driving. Say you go back over here, you're taking another off-duty time, say at a different Flying J or in a SO or wherever you are. You might want to mark down there, do a little line down over SO station, yada yada yada, lunch, you know. And you want to just remark like that. Now I'm going to talk about deferring in the next video too, but I'll just make note here. There's check marks here for deferrals. If this is day 1 of a deferral, you check mark day 1. If it's day 2 of a deferral, you check day 2. You have to do that if you are doing any kind of deferring. Over here is just your tallies. You total up how many hours here, how many hours here, here, and they should equal out to 24 at the bottom. If they don't equal 24, you did something wrong, and you're in trouble. Down here, your previous 14 days, there's a chart here. I try my best not to use this, although sometimes you have to. Say if you're off for 5 days, but you worked beyond that, you would have your 5 days listed here, because you're not gonna do up 5 blank daily logs, you know. So you're going to list your 5 days off here, and then you're going to list whatever you worked beyond the 5 days here. Okay. Over here you have your shipping documents. Your BL and manifest numbers go here. Your shipper go here. If you use the truck for personal use, you put your start and ending odometers here. Now this can be beyond your allowed driving hours for the day, believe it or not. You can drive extra hours. I think it's up to I can't remember. I'll get that number in a video. Over here is just a quick recap. Your on-duty hours, which is total lines 3 and 4, and then your 70-hour cycle. You'd fill out your total hours on duty the last 6 days, total hours available tomorrow, which is 70 minus that, total hours on duty last 7 days including today, and then for 120 hours you have the same thing except for the 120. It's 120 hours minus this, total on duty last 14 days. So that's pretty much in a nutshell your driver's daily log. I hope you found it informative. It's something you must do to be legal. So have a good day.